Hey, we're back. It's Kicking It with the Crosbys. I'm Mason Crosby and my wonderful brother Reese,
God,
off a full day of work, just coming in ready to crush it. Reese, you would have thought I looked like Santa Claus before I shaved
did
this
you? Yeah,
beautiful face of mine. Yeah,
the
it
silver
was
the silver fox was in full effect.
it was gross. The kids, Nolan wanted me to keep it, and
Yeah.
the look that Molly gave him, basically, like I went instantly and shaved it. Like it was pretty much. I thought I was moving into another room of the house. Like, who knows? I was moving to the North Pole. I was going to start delivering presents.
So like
Because
Nolan got in trouble for supporting your beard. That's how bad it was.
it's bad, yeah, and it's growing faster than ever too. It's just this gnarly, like, gray and white beard, and I mean, I shaved on, like, Friday, and it was already just, like, gross.
Literally like the Santa Claus where he shaves and it's all clean and then it just like instantly forms
Yeah,
back.
I think that's what's happening right now.
It's never
Alright,
it's
so
never it's never good whenever you are not only getting in trouble, like anyone that supports your facial hair gets in trouble. It's like that moment that any guy has whenever he's, shaving like his beard and he keeps the mustache and he's like,
you always
I
gotta
think
keep the
I
mustache.
think I'm gonna keep it. And you try to like make it as long as you can until like your wife or girlfriend or whoever catches you and is like, okay, you're done. You gotta shave it.
So is that, yeah, like, asking everybody that has ever shaved their face is,
Right.
do you always leave the stash for a moment? There's always a
Always.
pause, right? Where it's just like, I gotta live with this for a moment. It's like the
You know,
Tom
like
Selleck
it-
thing. I think you're like, I think the ladies would find this attractive. And
yep.
usually, yeah, I've kept it. I actually I'll have to find a picture and we'll post it up with one of our episodes and some probably with this episode. I'll put it up on social
Yes.
media. A family photo. It was the Movember. So I was growing the mustache all November.
That was a smart
And
call because that's how you got away with it. Because Molly,
exactly.
you're like, it's
I
for
couldn't
charity,
do it. Yeah, it's for
for a
the
good cause.
charity. It's for a good cause. And so we literally I have a family, like, photo, Christmas card, like our seasonal thing with the oh, it was such a good mustache. That thing was so good. But my mustache is pretty gnarly. It's like wispy and gross. Like, my
Mm,
facial hair, everything is like thick and then my mustache just gets like it like shoots
I
out.
I made it out of the house one time with the mustache, like, shaved the sides, and then was just like, "Let's just see if I can make it," and,
See what happens.
on the phone, wasn't paying attention, get in the car, and we're driving, like, "What is on your face?" I was like, we're on the outside, there's nothing you
Yes.
can do about it."
Yep. You had
That
one
was it.
outing out of the
That was it.
house.
Shut it down.
All right. Time to get to the real stuff, Reese.
That
Now,
was the real stuff.
get
Podcast over.
focused. Get focused.
Okay,
You
I'm
you
ready.
you don't seem focused.
What's on the
Uh,
agenda? Tell me what's going on. What
all
are we
right.
talking about?
Well, I have a few thoughts on my mind today. I want to talk. We're going to talk about the championship, do a recap of the weekend, everything that went on.
Yep,
We're
yep,
going to
yep.
hit on the Premier League games, where we're at in the Champions League, and you're going to give us a rundown. So maybe anyone in the world can understand what the Champions League structure is now.
Whew, good
And
luck.
you tried to explain it before we came on. I'm more confused, I think, than I was before. When I believe, like, what I thought before was just like they're playing in a league, top 24 teams, just keep going forward, and they're just seeded and play each other. But you are telling me it's something else. So now
Wrong.
I don't really care. As long as Liverpool gets through and they win the whole thing, I'm fine.
Right.
um, yeah, so and then we'll obviously talk about some Super Bowl matchups. I want to tease a little something where I was looking and I wanted to say I want to do a movie thing because we love movies where we deep dive into some of that. So we're going to do a little movie preview leading up to the Super Bowl. So we'll tease that and give you some movies that we're going to watch and we're going to give our reviews on next week leading up to the Super Bowl. So that's kind of it. I'm watching TGL tonight. I don't know if you've ever watched. You don't know what TGL. We had this conversation. Tomorrow Golf
TGO.
League. It's is
Are you
amazing.
watching it
It's
today?
It's on Monday night, and it was like it's Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy. It's like their group that has formed this, and now it's teams. They play indoor golf. It's simulator golf, but then they have a like real green. I think it's
What?
probably turf. I think the green's turf, but they can like change the undulation. They can change the green surface. They have real
Undulation?
they have real
They're
bunkers.
changing undulations?
Yeah, I know you hate changing undulations,
I don't
but
even know if I can even spell it.
so let's just start there. Let's start with our golf. I want to talk about golf. I'm wearing the polo. I got the Masters on.
You're
Oh,
ready to
okay.
go. Oh,
How sharp do I
yeah.
look? I'm
You look
feeling
good.
good.
You
It
look
was
good.
beautiful. It was beautiful here today. I had to go out and hit some golf balls. And that leads me to winter is I think I have seasonal affective disorder. I am sad this time of year. You know what helps me? Retail therapy for golf.
Oh man, that you like that. Okay, hold on. Like it could be
Yep.
summertime, and you're like, I need something new. I don't think the time of year. I think you
It's
just
time
hit
of year.
increments.
It's right now. No, it's right now.
Okay.
It might be
What
seasonally like 3 times a year, but
I literally
I needed new
I've
equipment.
had 2 sets of golf clubs in my entire life, and I think you get a new one every year. Is that more or less true, or
Yeah,
where are we at?
it's
Do we need to? We gotta play it
probably
cool.
2. Yeah. Molly might watch this, but
Yeah.
it's probably 2 sets a year. I probably get one every 6
Oh
months.
no. I love it.
But
I love it.
I sometimes I trade in the old sets. I'll get
Yeah.
if the
Girl,
driver's
that's
not
girl math.
working,
You're pulling girl.
yeah,
That's
I
golf
have to
math
get it.
is what that is.
Well, it's just equity. I'm kind of like get a little equity out of those, and I'm like, it's like trading in cars.
Yeah.
So um, yeah, so that's the thing where this time of year, and I guess many times out of the year, I decide
Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
buy new golf
Yeah.
golf equipment. So I have irons in the cart right now. I haven't pulled the trigger on those, but I did buy a new driver. So I have the TaylorMade QI35, which I did
The
not expect.
QI35 was
Yeah,
like
Rees.
was the QI34 not available, or was that just too
They
old?
skipped.
Like you
They
had to
went
go 35?
QI10 to QI35, which I don't understand. Nobody does.
No one gets
Nobody
it.
understands. But I have it. It's a real
You
thing.
got it. Yeah.
And I hit it today, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Amazing.
The ball was flying straight, and it'll probably go bad because like it was one of those where it's like the energy, everything was right, and you're just like, I'm so happy to be out here. My swing is free, and then I'll go out. I'm playing again on Wednesday, and I'll probably be snap hooking.
It's
And
gonna
like,
turn. Yeah, it never works out that way. I remember literally the first
overconfidence.
time. Yeah, the first time I thought I was good at golf, like was living in Green Bay with you, was golfing a lot, and was like getting better. Like started out in the low 100s, 90s, 80s, then hit in the upper 70s, and I was like, I'm good at golf. Literally best round ever. I don't even remember what it was. It was upper 70s though. And
Yeah.
then the next day I shot like a 105 and I was like, I hate this game. It's the worst game ever. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. And what I've discovered as being technically in the world above average golfer, but in
Yeah.
my mind, a mediocre golfer, like I shoot low 90s most of the time.
You can dabble
And
into the mid 80s if
if
it's a good day.
It can happen. And so like for me, the funny thing is playing with you and your friends is I'm terrible in that regard. Like I shoot a 88 and I lose by 12 strokes or more. And that's outrageous. But what I learned is I have the most fun though, is because you guys are like so regimented and like,
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
believe it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's only 8 feet from the hole. I'm like, I hit the green once and then it rolled over, but I touched
always your like line is like you're
Always my
having
line.
the most fun.
I am.
It's like, no, I'm having fun whenever I'm like shooting good scores and doing all the the normal things. Like I have a great time on the golf course.
Good.
When have you and I not had a good time on the golf course?
That's a good point. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not picking at you always, to be
Okay.
honest. There's always
some
that
serious
guy.
guys out
There's
there.
always that guy who like chips it within like 6 feet. And he's like,
It's just like-
this should have been closer. I'm like, how dare you? Like my
That
goal
always
is to
gets you.
literally hit the green just at any point. Is like always my goal. Like
Remember
whether
when
it
I
rolls
coached you
off
up
later.
when we were playing
Yeah.
and what was that? Old Stone up in Kentucky.
Mm.
And like we're below the green, you hit a great tee
I
ball,
was
and
panicking because I'm
that's
like, I
usually
can't.
when it
This is it.
falls apart. Yeah, it's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I got
This is
off
it.
the tee. I hit a great ball. There's no way I'm gonna execute
Never
this
get.
next shot. And I'm sitting there and like you're like, oh gosh, I don't know. How do I hit this? Like elevated green, all this stuff. And so just I Reese is very coachable. You'll
Very
like
coachable.
we'll talk about it. He's a coachable guy. And so
Always.
he's like, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. And I'm like, all right, just take it back, straight arms, don't break the wrist, and fire through the ball. Nips it perfectly, just all ball, lots of spin, gets it right over the lip of the
It was
elevation,
literally like
spins
I
it
almost made
yeah,
it.
6 inches.
That is literally that's the funniest thing is I'll do that all the time. I'll just be like, you're like, "Oh, you need to play like a draw, fade, cut, knockdown with a twist," and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and you're like,
My favorite cocktail.
it's like a kick flick mid twist, like
It
I'm just
is.
making it's like skateboarding stuff, but it's like I literally just like I've never done this before. You're like, just do this, 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 this. I'm like, all right, let's give it a go, and
Yeah.
it works out most of the time.
I mean, we as a scramble team, we would be untouchable.
Oh, I'm a
Uh,
scrambler, man. I am a scrambler because I can't
we
hit
challenge anyone to a scramble.
anyone. Bring it.
Anyone.
What got you?
Yeah, we should be on this TGL right now. They do like
Yeah,
alternate shot. We would be dangerous. So
yeah.
whenever we get the call, we will step up and we will have our own team and we will play
Mhm.
the pros in TGL. So
I'll
here's
wear
my
my hat
hope is
I'll wear my hat forward if that happens. That's how crazy. Like I'm committed. I will literally. I'll turn the hat around and
that's
wear it
crazy.
forward.
I don't know
Mhm,
about that.
mhm.
But here's the thing is like my hope and my proposal is that TGL starts getting like current former athletes, like start allowing teams to be formed where they start like subsequent leagues
Ooh.
where, athletes and, or actors and musician, whatever, like they can form their own teams. Because I think they have that in like the short course deal. They have like another league going where they actually play at night on some of these like par 3 courses,
Yeah.
and they have a bunch of teams, and like you basically have an investment group or somebody owns that team, and they pick their players and they go out and they try to compete for prize money and different things. So I'm hoping TGL gets to that because it's awesome. It's like an arena. They're inside. They hit off of like real grass, little patches, and all this stuff. So you got to check it out. If you haven't checked out TGL, it's one of my new favorite things, and I can't wait to go see one live. We got to go check one
It's the Tomorrow Golf League today. Whoa.
out.
Marketing.
Let's go to the mall today. Robin Sparkles.
Sparkles, man. We're Robin Sparkles.
All right, we're gonna segue now to championship weekend. Had one very boring game, the
Mhm.
NFC Championship. We'll just roll through that one real quick and give kind of our thoughts and takes, and our condolences to the Commanders
Condolences.
as they got steamrolled by the Eagles. Unfortunately, it was the tale of turnovers. Eagles just kind of doing what they've done through this whole playoff run and control the ball, like didn't turn the ball over, win the turnover battle, play a very somewhat basic offense. Like it's just give the ball to
Yep.
Saquon, let Jalen Hurts throw 70%, completion passes, nothing too crazy, and play amazing defense. So
Yeah.
you got to give them credit. I mean, they jumped on them. They caused that fumble right before half. We're able to kind of like double up on them, and then I did not expect it to be 55-23. even like
No.
whenever it seemed like the Eagles were in command, I did not think that was going to happen. But Eagles stomped them.
Yeah, the highlights are obviously just Saquon first play, 60 yards to the house.
So good.
Amazing. Like just right away, set the tone. My low light, if you will, is Jaden Daniels scores a touchdown in the playoffs. You're losing by multiple scores, and he's doing a celebration dance for like 10 seconds. It's like, hey, buddy, look around real quick.
Yeah.
You're losing by
still
a
down
lot
a couple of scores. Yeah.
in the playoffs, and you're celebrating a touchdown and doing a little dance. Like That's where the rookie showed. The rookie showed right then to me, and
Yeah.
that's my first thought. Like, hand the ball to the ref, run to the sideline. Let's do this again. Let's go. But he's like, I did it. I did it. We're losing
Less
by
about
multiple
trying to
scores.
win, more about like keeping it, like keeping the image and
Yeah.
doing the stuff. Yeah.
Hey,
No, I
I'm
totally
sure
agree.
I'm sure he got a good photo for Instagram or something like that, and it was good.
Yeah.
And that's what he wanted
Man,
apparently. But
shots
I
fired.
didn't
We're
like it.
going
I
at it.
hate like you don't celebrate when you're losing by multiple touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. Like, score, act like you've been there. Have you scored a touchdown before? Give the ball to the ref. Try again.
I agree. I think that that was a miss, and that was something that it's not like it hurt them in that moment. I mean, they
Nah.
they weren't going to win that game, but it was like, okay, yeah, they've overachieved. They've achieved to the point that they're not
Yeah.
going to cross over and win this game. They're kind of where where it was meant to end for them, because they just were not ready for that moment. The Eagles
Nope.
deserve to be in the Super Bowl. They have played so well in the playoffs. They have just done all the little things right. So congrats to the Eagles. Good job. Super Bowl here in a couple weeks. And I cannot wait for next week to kind of run down this Eagles Chiefs matchup and all the nuances that are going to go into that one, and all of our thoughts of, we'll get into more of the conspiracy theories on the Chiefs and the refs. So,
tinfoil hat on. Let's do it.
yeah, you know what's coming. All right, so let's go to this Chiefs Bills game. We're watching both these games together, but we're sitting here locked in on this one, and it's just like, what is going to happen? And it comes down to the wire. Well, first off, Bills. We were saying like the refs had this like evening out thing that they were doing.
They did.
Because it was like we joked whenever Hollis caught that touchdown pass, the ref like waited till he caught it and then he threw the flag for pass interference. He's like, okay, I think we're down a couple. We need to make sure that the Chiefs get a few flags thrown on them, right? So throw that flag. Baited. Did that end up getting them onto the one? So did that bait them into going for two? Because I told you I was so irate when the Bills went for two in the second quarter. I'm just like, what are you doing? It's 21 to, what was it, 16 at that time? Yeah, it was 21-16. You get that thing to like just a normal score. You kick the extra point. It's so early. Do not give this an opportunity to get out of hand. And then then they had to go for two later because of that situation. So
yeah, that's where you get yourself into that problem. Like, get the points and then deal with it later. Almost like, take the points now. Take the points now, because you never know what's going to happen. It started changing here and there. Like, the Chiefs then went for two to make something different. Like, you changed the whole course of the game early on, and it throws off the whole system. Because I mean, it's one of those things too. I mean, you see the tush push happen in the Eagles all the time, and they make it constantly. How the Bills cannot do the tush push.
Josh Allen, unfortunately, he stands up. He's so big, but he doesn't burrow in. I mean, it's like Jalen Hurts just like dives in there and they just push him and he's underneath.
You never see him. He just as soon as
you don't know if he gets
he
the first.
Disappears.
You're like, did he get there? And it's like, no, he's crawled like 3 yards.
No one can see him. He's like underneath reaching. They're like passing him through.
Exactly. But like, I mean, Josh Allen got the first down on that fourth down.
I can't believe, like, okay, like the internet's been going crazy, like through all of this.
His whole body is like at least on or past that line.
They should have never been in that situation, because like Kincaid got the first down the first time.
Exactly.
Anyways, like they should have never been there. That should have never happened.
Some of those spots were bananas.
The spots were outrageous and then you see both sides of it, to where one guy spots it here, one guy spots it there, and we're talking like a yard difference, like on this side of the line and that side of the line. And then, oh no, it's mine, even though that guy could never see the ball and he could never get there. Like, that's all I'm literally seeing on the internet right now, is just everyone is that play. But they talk about that play, but again, it shouldn't even gotten to that play, because Kincaid was a first down right before that. Again,
here's my thing.
It's one play, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And it's like, does it change the course of the game? I don't know. Because
that's always how it goes.
I think with how you saw that last drive with the Chiefs, like if they're down, if they need a field goal to win, if like say it's tied, like they're going to get the ball. and get it to where they needed to go to win the game. Like that's
Yeah.
just who they are, what they do. So for me, it's less about the Bills, it's less about the refs, it's less about kind of all of those things that we want to talk about. The Chiefs just are a juggernaut, and they do
Sure.
it situational football, especially in the playoffs. But you just see it all the time. Like they do all the little things right. The fact that they threw the pass, like they threw the ball, but
Oh my
it's a
gosh.
play
They
where
threw it
it's
twice
rolling
right
out,
there at the end.
but you're
Like, oh my
rolling out with
gosh.
Mahomes, and it's like if
Yeah.
somebody covers that guy and chases him, if they run a different scheme, then Mahomes runs it. Like it's
Yeah.
the safest play that they probably could have done in that moment. And then
Because
they go
even
to
then if he gets sacked, then the clock's still running anyway, so it's
yeah,
okay. Like, he
yeah,
can just take a sack.
because it's like
It's crazy.
Mahomes is the best player to have the ball in his hands. Like you want to have the ball in his hands. Why not?
Well, you do, and like statistically, like you do, and in the playoffs, there's, I saw this random stat, and it's, there's been 120 or 125 like game-winning drives that have happened in the course of the playoffs, and the
Yeah.
only person to ever go 100% is Pat Mahomes. Every single time,
It's
he's
ridiculous.
7 for 7 of when you are a one-score game and he has the game-winning drive. He's done it every single time.
Well, and
It's outrageous.
it's playing to win and not playing to like try to be in the game or like try to win it at the end or try to like
Yeah.
not lose. Like Chiefs play to win. Like the whenever they blitzed Josh
Oh my
Allen on
gosh.
4th
With a
and 10.
corner blitz,
Corner blitz forced him. They just forced him to make a quick decision, get the ball, out of his hands. He's uncomfortable. Sure, Kincaid had a chance to catch the ball. Like,
Yeah.
could he have caught it? Yes, but it was just a thrown up ball that, like, they forced him into that situation, and then they get the ball back and they dictate to the Bills how they want to play. Like, so applaud the Chiefs. I know people want to hate on them. I know people are just kind of like tired of the Chiefs stuff, but I cannot get enough of watching how they play the game. And they
yeah.
play to win, and they do it so efficiently in situational ball. And I think the Eagles do a really good job of that as well. So that's why this Super Bowl matchup is going to be really good potentially, because I think both teams are they execute at a high level. They do all the really simple, gritty, like things that like nobody talks about or wants to do all the time. They do all those little things really well. So I think the two best teams at this moment, especially, are going into the Super Bowl. So
Hey,
congratulations.
Last game of the season. Can't hold anything back now.
Can't hold anything back. Yeah.
Can't hold anything back. This is it. They won't hold anything back. You got two Red Raiders in the Super Bowl. So, like, I guess that's the team you got to root for now, because that's who I'm rooting for. I can tell you that.
Who are you rooting for?
The Chiefs.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Two Red Raiders.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes the third.
Yes.
For White House, Texas.
Who's the other Red Raider?
Yeah, he's there. I don't remember his first name. Cup. There's another one. He's on the team. Look it up.
Do they have two? All right.
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you because
we'll leave everyone hanging. That's for next week. We'll talk about that. Yeah. I don't know if there's any Colorado Buffaloes. I'm not sure if they're
probably not.
I don't know if
probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if they've made it there. We had a few down years here for a while, but we're coming back. We're gonna have Sanders brothers will be, they'll be playing the NFL next year. We're gonna have a bunch of Colorado guys.
Do you really think both Sanders brothers are gonna be there?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just curious.
You don't think they're both gonna get in the NFL?
I'm just asking. I don't know, man. You tell me.
I am. They will be. They will.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. That's what I need to know. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
exactly. But now I know.
All right, so let's move on and talk about. Let's just kind of quick into the coaching carousel. Some finalized, stuff going on. Cowboys hire.
Oh, the Cowboys.
They make an interesting, choice. That's who knows what's going to happen.
I mean, okay, like go ahead. Yeah,
who everyone expected them. I mean, from the get-go, knew that's who they were going to hire. I didn't want to say it. I did not want to say it out loud.
I didn't want to,
but I knew it. I knew that was happening.
Okay, like
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know that's who they were gonna hire?
you
Do you
knew, so
watch football?
I
Do you watch football?
So the fun, I don't know if we want to say fun. The interesting thing, again, growing up in Texas, is I've been a Packers fan my entire life, but everyone else around me is obviously a Cowboys fan. I'm pretty sure there's no Texan fans, and only old people were
Sure.
Oilers fans, so like it's fine. But like everyone's a Cowboys fan in Texas for the most part, and what a tough life. I'm telling you, like it has been a long journey for those Cowboys fans, and they get so excited every August. They are fired up, and then by every end of September, they're devastated.
Yeah.
Like it's
No, they've had
ridiculous.
some
And
good regular season. Like
yeah,
they've done okay.
yeah,
They
and their best coach that they don't have anymore. So
so what
I mean,
is it 28 or 29 years drought of going to the NFC championship? So the
yeah,
longest of any NFL team by I want to say 10 or 11 years. Like I think the next lowest is like 18 years without an NFC championship
that is
appearance.
outrageous.
And it doesn't make any sense. Like, how is that the case? They've had, they've had stellar regular seasons. They 12, 14 wins. Like,
Yeah.
we've faced them in different times when they've, been dominant and like just had great years. And then they just lay eggs in the playoffs. So good on Jerry Jones. I hope he found his guy, and old
Oh,
Brian Schottenheimer.
yeah,
Again,
shoddy.
like I knew it. I didn't want to say it. I knew that's who they were going to get.
It was just a secret just between you and JJ, Jerry Jones. You and JJ would just
Well,
like
he didn't tell
keep
me,
it
but
quiet.
his eyes told me. His eyes were
Yeah,
telling me.
it's more of
I
his
could
body
tell.
language and his eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew he was going to do something wild. I knew he was going to do something unexpected. But this was the obvious choice all along.
Okay. Okay. This is
I don't know.
blowing my mind.
I don't know.
I don't understand this even in the slightest. What's
Okay,
happening right now?
and then Pete Carroll goes to the Raiders. What do you think about that? Pete Carroll might have the most juice though of any coach in the NFL
Oh my
still
god.
to this day. Like
Pete Carroll,
I want
yeah.
to go play for Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he's 139 years old and he still is like running around there dropping like dimes in practice, throwing the
Yeah,
football around. Like he's an excitable guy. And I mean, again, it's yeah, like he has success. He knows how to coach teams. I mean, he was at USC and they got to pay their players, and so he went to the NFL where it was just an even
yeah,
trade. He knew how that worked and dominated at the Seahawks. He made them relevant.
yes, he
And
did.
then what's happened since? They've had up and down, mostly down, and they have their moments, but then who knows what's going to happen now? I mean, again, he knows how to coach. He is a player's coach for sure.
It's so wild looking at the AFC West where they have Sean Payton, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, and now Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
And it's like veteran, kind of established, like older guys but they all have trophies of some, in some
yeah,
capacity. And then you look at now what the NFC North is, and you get, first time coach Ben Johnson, exciting. Everyone's kind of wondering and interested what he's going to do. LaFleur is now established. I mean, he's obviously been at Green Bay for a while,
yeah,
but still kind of like new age, younger, all the stuff. Dan Campbell, energy, fiery, all the stuff. And then O'Connell there at the Vikings. And then that's what's so interesting in the NFL is like, it's almost like these divisions kind of decide like what kind of coaches they want to have. And like, what a difference of that AFC West versus like an NFC North, like just as far as how the makeup of those head coaches are and what what they're about. Honestly, like back to the Chiefs, like Andy Reid. I mean, that guy, like all the commercials and stuff, he's hilarious. Like that guy, even though he's a little bit older and all that, like he still seems to relate and is like one of the guys. So good on Coach Carroll. I hope he has success in the Raiders. Going to be a tough task. I mean, Vegas
oh yeah.
Raiders before when they were Oakland, it seems like a tough challenge there for that Raiders organization. So I hope him the best and hope he has success. The only available spot, unless I didn't see something, is the New Orleans Saints. So they're
Ooh,
the only
yeah.
unfilled place. I think a coach, one of their candidates, bowed out of the race. Coach McCarthy's still,
Yeah.
an available option.
I mean, that's
But he's
wild
available.
though.
Like, why haven't they hired him? If they want
Yeah,
Coach McCarthy, they would have hired him already. So
right.
I
And
don't
like
know
it
what
says something though, they haven't hired anyone and no one else is really in line and someone's bowing out of a thing. Like, what is why? Like,
who's going to be
like
that guy.
that's
I
not
know.
good. You have
Well,
Lucas
I hope.
Patrick on that team. Like that is you want to coach a guy like Lucas Patrick. That's
I
all I'm
was
saying.
about to say Lucas. Yeah, I hope Lucas. He's not under contract for next year, but they would be wise to
Oh yeah.
sign him back.
Yes.
You have to have a Lucas Patrick on your team. He is
Everyone needs
the
one.
best. Everyone needs a Lucas Patrick. He's like a brother to us, so he's my favorite brother. I mean,
He became our brother. He became our brother in Oregon. So
and
he
Bandon.
is
Yeah, he
at
is your
Bandon
brother.
Dunes. Lucas Patrick is a Crosby brother, just for the record. That is out there in public now. So
Yep, he's officially part of our crew. Okay, so let's shift gears to little footy, international soccer
do it
football.
again. Do it again.
Footy. That was pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. It usually turns Australian. So
Let's go play some footy.
it's decent. And actually, like
What part of England is that? Like, I feel
I
like
don't
that's
think
a
it is. I
very.
think you're like an imposter. You're like a German spy impersonating like a British football fan.
That's what I was going for. Thank you.
Whoa, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Usually, if I try to say I'm going to do an accent for like a certain country, it usually comes across like Jamaican, or I end up sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or
Yeah, that
Australian,
happens a
or it
lot.
goes Australian.
So then we just
Um,
we always go like to the extreme. We're like say something that like it would be like an American thing, but in French, and we just
Yeah.
it's never good. But
And I
it's always
never,
good.
like, just to be clear, like, it's not like I don't like, I hope it doesn't offend anyone, because I'm not trying to like
Mm-mm.
poke fun or make like it's just bad on me. I literally cannot do accents when I want to. Like, I they're in there sometimes, like I can do them, but it's like if I do it
In
on
my
demand,
head,
it
yeah.
just isn't
In
there.
in my head, it's gonna sound incredible. Then it comes out, and you're just like, "This is horrible." So then you just like you lean into it, and you just
It
have to
keeps
like
changing. Yeah. It's like, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? All right, let's talk about footy. Let's talk about the Champions League to
Let's do it.
start, and then we'll talk about. We'll just let everyone know how great Liverpool is, because that's just our
The
normal
usual,
process.
the usual.
But let's Reese, explain to me in as few words as possible, how is this new Champions League system set up? Where are we at in it? What are we doing?
So
Few
okay,
words.
yeah. All
Short
right,
words.
let's Why use lot word when few word do trick?
There you go.
Champions League,
40
new
teams, 50. Well, how
teams.
many?
There's 36 teams,
Okay.
and what's happening now?
Oh,
I'm going to
that's
use
too
a
many
lot of
words.
words. I'm going to use
You
a lot of
just,
words.
yeah, you shift it up.
New system, more teams, no same team play, more team play, not same team play twice. 8th game this week in season, then playoff, knockout stage after playoff, teams win trophy at end.
I get it. I totally get it.
If that I honestly can't be any more clear than that.
That
I
was,
can't be any
I
more clear than that.
appreciate you using as few words as possible to explain
Yeah.
that, because it's about as clear as it is like if you used
Yeah.
every word in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So
Few team, more team play lots,
8
then
teams,
knockout,
knock
then
teams out.
bracket, then win.
Okay.
At end.
And I did see something though, that a supercomputer did a whole rundown, and they played all these games like on and inside the computer, and
Whoa.
Arsenal came out on top 26% of the time. So the
that's funny.
supercomputer has picked Arsenal to win the Champions League this year. How do you feel?
That's
What do you
funny.
feel about that?
Oh, honestly, comical. Yeah, like that's absolutely hilarious. It's not gonna happen. Never, no. Like
Never know happen.
never know
Now
happen.
you
Not
can't say now you can't
never
not
know
top that.
happen. Not now. Not never.
Not
Not
never.
know how.
Yeah. Well,
So
so Liverpool has the most points. They're the top of the
it all
table
comes
at this
back
point.
around
But
to
it all
Liverpool's
just
really great.
but it
They're in
ends
first
up then they
place.
go into the knockout round. So they will actually so they'll play like the worst team available. Is that how it will work once they
All
get
right.
into the
So
knockout?
in more words now.
Yeah, because I
So
am really
what's
I'm
about to
really
happen?
confused.
What's about to happen on Wednesday is match day 8, which means it'll be the 8th game of the Champions League.
Thank you.
And this is the decider. So what happens is the top 24 teams advance into the knockout stages. But what's different this year is it's the round of 16. So 8 versus 8. That is 16. Yeah. 8 versus 16.
Thank you.
And then yeah, I have to count on my fingers usually. So the top 8 teams automatically qualify and they get a bye. And then 9 through 24 play each other in 2 games to then play those first 8 teams, if that all makes sense. So
Who
how
came up with this?
I don't it's very confusing. I had to look it up and there's pictures, so it helped me. But like basically
Jeez.
how it starts working is you start playing each other twice. So you have 2 legs and the aggregate score is who wins. So therefore, the first game and the second game are combined scores, and whoever scores the most in those 2 games then goes on to the next round.
Okay. All right.
Are we
Well,
tracking? Are we tracking?
I feel yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be watching. I'll be
2
watching. And,
game, most goal, win.
okay, I get that totally.
Together.
Thank you. Yeah, play other games that get those games matter for later championship win. Okay, check. This is a
There you
very
go.
this feels like a very convoluted, interesting system, but I think it's going to be electric once they finally get into the
Yep.
knockout
Well,
rounds. And
the
I love the
interesting thing
Champions League.
is,
So
yeah, there's a bye now, which is interesting. So 2 other teams are playing each other 2 extra games. So like it actually gives the top 8 teams an advantage now, which no one really had
it
before.
didn't in
So
history. Yeah.
kind of
All right.
interesting.
Well, and then Liverpool gets another win in the Premier League.
The usual.
Yeah,
They
we
played
got
the
to
mighty Ed
give our
Sheerans
love.
and
Yeah.
took them down.
Ipswich.
Ipswich
Uh,
down.
yeah, it was it was a bombarding from the get-go. I mean, it was so fun to watch. Salah has an upper deck, rip, like it's no
yeah.
angle,
No.
knocks it in. Who was the announcer, the younger announcer in that game? Do you know who the announcer was for that?
No,
I almost
don't
texted
remember.
you because I didn't look it up, but if again, like poetry with his words are just amazing. And like
They are
how he
great.
called the game, I'm just like, I could listen to this guy call every sporting event for the rest of my life. Like it was just beautiful. And I'm like, how is he saying this about a soccer game? It was magnificent. And
The pictures that they paint and just how they describe everything and the passion that they bring
there it goes.
is absolutely incredible.
Simon Brotherton.
Oh, Simon.
Brotherton. Is it Brotherton?
Brotherton? It's Brotherton.
Is it Brotherton?
I'm gonna go with that. It sounds more British to be
Magnificent.
Brotherton.
Magnificent. So I hope he calls every Champions League game moving forward.
Amazing.
Every game for the rest of my life. I would listen to him announce games. All right. We're gonna keep this short and sweet, but I'm gonna tease a couple movies and I want you to we're gonna watch them together, Reese, or we'll watch them separately and then talk about them.
Separately together.
This will be setting up for next week between the 2 Super Bowl teams, Eagles versus the Chiefs. And I was looking at movies in relation to both those teams. And the first one I found, I didn't really dive deeper after I found this because I thought it was amazing. So you got Invincible for the Eagles.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch that
What,
movie,
like
give our review.
Silver Linings Playbook or something, right? Like Bradley Cooper, he's a Eagles fan in that, I'm pretty sure.
But what? He's
Pretty
in.
sure he's an Eagles fan in that.
He Bradley Cooper is, but Invincible
said.
is Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I said Silver Linings Playbook, Bradley
Oh.
Cooper. Yeah,
Oh,
Mark Wahlberg.
you're just saying
is,
other one. Okay.
he's Vince Papale. I know all about it. He was a
Yeah.
bartender. He went to
Do
the
you
public
think
tryouts.
that
He made the team.
think that they could in this modern football that they could have a situation like that happen?
No, never. Are
They
you
should
kidding
have
me?
They'd
It
probably
would be
do something
it would
every
be
spring.
fun.
They let fans come and like try out just
It
because.
would be fun just to film fans doing drills. Like that would be absolutely hysterical. That's its own reality show right there. That would
Yeah.
be super funny to see normal people doing football drills. I can tell you that right now.
So we're gonna watch Invincible, give our take and a review on that, and then the Kansas City Chiefs kind of movie I found. I just looked up movies relating to the Kansas City Chiefs football team, and the one I found is a Hallmark movie, Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
Holiday touchdown.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Molly is gonna love watching this one.
Oh
So
no.
we'll have to get her take
I don't-
on that.
I mean,
Is this
Hallmark
is this a Taylor
instantly.
Swift? I mean, is it a Taylor Swift movie? I mean,
I slightly. I
it's
picture
a love story.
like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a love story. It has to be Taylor Swift.
I mean, it might be, but I mean, like Kansas City's a big town, but you have like, a big city guy moving there, a big city girl moving there, and ooh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a girl moves from the big city to Kansas City, the Midwest town, and meets a Chiefs fan, and she becomes a Chiefs fan, and they fall in love at the Super Bowl. I'm just calling. I don't know.
I don't know anything about it, but I'm excited to watch, and we will give our reviews. And if you're listening, I want you to watch these movies and join in the fun of
Just
breaking
blind
them
wad.
down next week as we discuss our favorite parts of both movies and why we think that those teams, which team is going to win based on the movies themselves.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Nothing
so
to do with the football game, but just because of our takes on the movies. The
What
movie
were
for the
they?
Eagles is Invincible, is what the
Okay.
movie that we'll be watching. And for the Kansas City Chiefs, Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm so excited. That's gonna be a rom-com right up your alley. That's why you picked
it's
it.
right
Don't
up my
don't
alley.
even pretend. There's probably
Yeah.
some like mainstream blockbuster that we could watch, but you're like, nah, rom-com. We're watching this one.
Dude, I did not
Hollywood.
look for anything
Jesus.
else once I saw that pop up. As soon as I saw it, I was just like, "Yep, that's what we're doing." So that's our like our homework for the week going into next week. Watch these two movies, give our reviews. Invincible, Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. Based on our reviews on that is who we think is going to win.
Oh,
this
the better movie wins the game too. Yeah,
I mean,
I love
we
it.
know Invincible is a great movie.
Great movie.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg's great. You can't not
Fantastic.
like Mark Wahlberg. If Will Ferrell was in the movie with him, it would automatically win.
It would make it better. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, yeah, I think we've come to the end of this episode. And
did it.
dude, your explanation of Champions League soccer might have been the highlight of my day. So thank you for keeping it short, keeping it man, a few words in the explanation of that. I couldn't stop laughing. So appreciate you, brother. You are today, at least, the funniest of the Crosbys. So I'll give you that trophy today.
Me think soccer fun.
We see next time. Play more. Nothing. I thought you were going to fill in.
I didn't know it was like an ad-lib. I didn't know.
I thought we were
like
going back and forth. All right. It's Kicking It with the Crosbys. Thanks for joining us. Listen, subscribe, go to the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube. Appreciate you checking us out, and we'll see you next time. Later.